우리 섹스해요. 당신 나 좋아하잖아. 나도 당신 좋아하거든. 그럼 된 거야. 기 같은 거 필요 없이.
Hi, Israq21 here. Today, I will recap a movie called The Kind Wife. The Kind Wife is a 2015 Korean sex drama film. This film tells the story of a beautiful girl who lives in the house of a husband and wife, but this girl is very itchy. She always teases the husband of her renting house. Because her husband's faith is low. Finally she manages to enjoy his carrot and licking her bottom cave. They are making love behind his wife every day. And this is one of the best bottom cave movies I've ever watched because it has a very cool and unexpected plot twist ending. Okay, what's the continuation of the story? Batten down the hatches because we are going in hard. This is a spoiler content video. Enjoy the video and let's start the story. The film begins with a husband and wife having a meal together. Her husband is Jimin. And his wife is Jenny. The two of them just moved to a small village. The reason we don't know yet. Maybe they're tired of living in the city, right? In that village, her husband starts to do gardening and suddenly a man comes to him named Jungkook. Jungkook is Jimin's friend. He works as a carpenter. After that, Jungkook tells him that the soil that Jimin uses for gardening is not good. Jungkook also suggests that Jimin work at the company because he used to be an editor. Jungkook also says that Jimin's wife Jenny wants to learn to make chairs and tables. Hearing that, Jimin rushes home and asks why does his wife want to learn to make tables and chairs with Jungkook. Jimin doesn't like it when his wife is always with Jungkook because he feels Jungkook always looks at his wife. But Jenny says that she wants to learn about wood because she likes handicrafts, not because there's something with Jungkook. That night, Jenny suggests that the empty room be rents out for somebody. But Jimin doesn't agree, because he doesn't want a stranger living with him. But Jenny explains that if they rent out the room, it will make their economy a bit better going forward. So Jimin finally complies and agrees with his wife. The next day, Jenny is very excited to clean up the room. After that, she promotes her room to social media immediately. A few days later, there is someone interested in renting the room. She then tells his husband to pick up the person at the bus stop. When Jimin almost arrives, Jimin seems to know the girl. The girl is named Jisoo. Jimin thinks that he is hallucinating. Because Jisoo was his mistress when he was in the city. That's why Jimin moved to the village to stay away from Jisoo. Jimin goes straight home. And he is very surprised, because it turns out that the person who wants to rent the room at his house is Jisoo. After that, Jimin and Jenny chat with Jisoo. Jisoo says that she is a writer and she really likes the room in their house. Wow, girl. Do you like the room or her husband? And sure enough, when Jisoo wants to sleep, Jimin comes over and tells Jisoo to leave his house and not disturb his family anymore. But Jimin can do nothing because Jimin's faith is very low. Jisoo teases him then forces Jimin to stab her bottom cave. And finally he manages to enjoy her bottom cave. The next day, they hold a dinner party to welcome Jisoo. Jisoo then praises the food that Jenny made as very delicious. Jisoo also says that Jimin is very lucky to have a wife like Jenny. After that, Jisoo even puts her foot into Jimin's carrot. Jimin is surprised and immediately standing up. But Jenny thinks that her husband is thirsty, so she goes to get a drink for him. When they are alone, Jimin tells Jisoo again to leave his house quickly. But Jisoo replies that she will not leave the house because she is so in love with Jimin. Jisoo also threatens Jimin if he kicks her out. Jisoo will tell his wife about their relationship. After that, Jenny comes back and she asks permission to go learn to make wood crafts tomorrow. Because her schedule is every Saturday. The next day, Jenny goes to Jungkook's place and learns to make wood crafts. Suddenly the scene moves. Jisoo who quietly enters Jimin's room and sees the clothes he was wearing when they had an affair in the past. Then Jisoo sees Jenny who is driven home by Jungkook. Jisoo gets a sneaky idea. She goes to see Jungkook and says that she is having an affair with Jimin. She really wants Jimin and Jenny's relationship to be destroyed. So she asks Jungkook for help to tease Jenny. At first, Jungkook refuses it. But Jisoo says that she will give a lot of money if he manages to seduce Jenny. In the evening, when Jimin is sleeping with his wife, suddenly Jisoo comes to the room and forces him to stab her bottom cave beside his wife. Finally they are making love while his wife is sleeping beside them. The next day, Jenny asks about the theme of the novel written by Jisoo. Jisoo answers the novel she wrote about infidelity. Hearing the word infidelity, Jenny becomes silent and worried. That night, when Jenny is sleeping, she keeps thinking about Jisoo's words earlier. So Jenny immediately takes sleeping pills so she will fall asleep. When she is about to get some water, she sees Jisoo is out of the house. Jenny is surprised, so she calls her husband and tells him to hurry home. But Jimin says that he is hanging out with his friends and will go home when the event is over. Jenny, who is curious, doesn't stay silent. She follows Jisoo quietly. It turns out that her husband is actually waiting for Jisoo on the streets. Jenny is very surprised here because she sees her husband in the bushes exploring Jisoo's bottom cave. They are making love behind Jenny. Jenny is really hurt and immediately runs home while bursting into tears. The next day is Saturday. Jenny goes back to Jungkook's house to study. Jungkook tries to tease Jenny, but Jenny gets angry, so she leaves Jungkook's house because she feels uncomfortable. That night, the four of them eat together. When Jenny goes to the kitchen, Jungkook follows her. Jungkook apologizes for what happened this afternoon, but Jenny still doesn't accept it and immediately kicks Jungkook out. When Jungkook wants to go home, he even asks Jisoo to sleep at his house, which instantly makes Jimin annoyed and angry. At his house, Jungkook manages to enjoy Jisoo's bottom cave until he is satisfied, while Jimin, who feels jealous, finally he vents his anger by stabbing his wife's bottom cave. They are making love together. The next day, Jenny throws up and she is very surprised because she is pregnant. Jenny runs to Jungkook's house. Jenny immediately forces Jungkook to stab her bottom cave. She is very horny now, but because Jungkook's faith is very strong, he doesn't want to stab her bottom cave, so he tries to calm Jenny and takes her home. Jungkook says that he was ordered by Jisoo to tease her, not of his own volition, so Jenny also understands why Jungkook refused her. When he returns to his house, Jungkook is surprised because there is already Jisoo, who is angry because Jungkook can't ruin Jimin and Jenny's relationship. Then Jungkook says, "Stop, Jisoo. Don't bother their family anymore." Hearing that, Jisoo is so upset, so she hurts her own hand until she faints. On the other hand, Jimin comes home. He sees Jenny while cooking. Jimin asks her, "What's happened to you?" Jenny even asks, "What is your relationship with Jisoo?" But Jimin doesn't want to answer it. The reason is because he is tired. When he sees the message on his cell phone, he is shocked because the message is from Jungkook, who says that Jisoo is in the hospital. Jimin tries to leave home quickly, but unfortunately when in front of the door, Jenny immediately stabs him from behind. Then Jenny puts her husband in the crate. The next day, Jenny comes to visit Jisoo. Jenny says that she already knew what Jisoo's purpose was to come to her house, which was to become a homewrecker. After that, Jenny leaves her. Suddenly Jisoo gets a message from Jimin. He says that he really loves his wife. Instantly Jisoo is being crazy and very upset, and it turns out that the message was sent by Jungkook using Jimin's cell phone. When Jenny leaves the hospital, suddenly at that moment Jisoo jumps from the hospital building and falls on Jenny's car. It is really scary. At the end of the film, Jenny is seen eating in her yard and it turns out that Jimin is still alive. But he is buried alive in his yard. Then Jenny says that she would never kill her husband and would never betray her husband, and the movie The Kind Wife 2015 is over. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoy it. Please give me thumbs up and click the subscribe button. See you on another video.